Hey everyone, welcome to RougeBlather Season 2 Episode 7. Woohoo! As always, my co-host, Liam. Hey, what's up, Liam?
Yo!
How many days?
Today, 1803.
Woohoo! I am currently on 635. So, for those wondering what the hell we're talking about the Hobby Streak, which is doing 30 minutes of hobby every night for the longest streak possible. So, yeah. Yeah. Having fun. Don't want to know. So, as always, we're gonna start with shoutouts. So, I saw that you put the...
I did everything.
Hey!
I was like,
I had some of those in mine too, and you missed one. You missed yourself. So yeah.
It doesn't feel proper putting my own name down.
But yeah, so
feels a little bit masturbatory.
So I'll start. So Liam on 1,800 days. Woohoo! Yeah. Highest score on the internet. Pretty sure
that we can find.
That we can find. Yeah. There might be some people have been doing it for 10 years, doing hobby every day. Which, I'm wondering if... Because I was watching Ash doing his... he's got a thing now he's doing on Saturday morning. He's got a little YouTube live thing.
Does a little lifetime.
And I was wondering, has he done some hobby every single day for the past 7 years that he's been doing this? I was like, I wouldn't be surprised seeing how many freaking minis he can paint, but yeah. So anyways, so Liam, 1,800, Caleb, 600, Evan Austin, 900, Wujczak, 900, JohnOSpencer, 100 days. You put season 2, I'm guessing is because it's the second time he reaches that. I thought he stopped for a little bit, but yeah. And then RougeBlather on 600 days, and Matakishi 1,000 days.
I think.
Nice. All right, well, congrats to all of you. And then what about over
on the Instagrams? We've got Orc Hobby Strike. Orc Hobby Streak on 100. Silthorn Hobby on 600. Also, shout out to Silthorn Hobby for liking all my Hobby Streak posts about 10 seconds after I post them. So.
Nice. He's following you closely.
Oh yeah. Scugger76 on 750 days, which is your 2-year mark. Galen Notorious on 300. The Real Aslam on 600 days. Always catches me out trying to read that for some reason. Fire_Ruffles on 750, the 2 years.
Cool.
Noerdic Painter on 100. Arc_Magos on 1,000. Shout out to Grant. Our friend of the show, Grant, from the Throwing Dice podcast.
How are they doing on that podcast?
They're up to episode 10 now.
Oh.
So that they are almost in the top 1%.
Nice.
Wargame Explorer on 600 days and Techomania on 400.
Cool.
So those are the Hobby Streak shout-outs. There's a couple of other ones that I've put on here that I thought were important before we got on, that weren't like newsworthy, but news section worthy, but shout-out worthy. Top of the show, shout-out worthy.
Mm-hmm.
Registration for Ho Ho Hobby Vices is open. So that is run by Hobby Vices and Dan Havoc, the actual Warhammer heroes. They've got a medal and everything.
Nice.
It's a international hobby-based Secret Santa. You get matched with a random person, and you do something for them, and somebody random will do something for you.
Nice. Well, that's nice.
The other weekend was also the 35th anniversary of Warhammer 40k. So the Warhammer community Twitter was like, show us your first Space Marine. So I found my first Space Marine, which was literally the first model I painted.
Alright.
So future JG is probably going to have a picture floating whatever side of me things float.
I need to remember it, but yeah.
Yeah. It's on the show notes. So he's behind my laptop screen over there.
Wait, so you put it in the show notes? Oh, you put the link?
I put the
Instagram?
The Twitter link.
Oh, the Twitter link, okay.
Yeah.
Doug, my first Space Marine. Okay, cool. I will definitely do.
Prince of Bealtan, aka Josh, is starting a podcast called Humans of Warhammer about the people behind the paintbrush. It's black owned, going to celebrate the paths we walk to the models we paint. It's aiming to launch in early 2023, but he's doing what we might probably should have done and figuring out all of his shit beforehand. Rather than just vibing it and doing it live.
What's the fun in it?
Yeah. And the last thing I've got on there is Golden Demon.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a link there to the Warhammer community page with all the Golden Demon winners. Okay. And if you want to look at some people painting some impossibly high standard minis and feel either A, bad about yourself, or B, give yourself something to aim for, then there's the list of those.
I'm sorry, I'm sniffing my water to make sure it's water. Alright.
And not isopropyl.
Yeah, because I don't want to put isopropyl alcohol in my wet palette. That's not gonna work.
No, that would be bad.
Yeah. I don't think I'll do much, but it's gonna evaporate pretty quickly, being alcohol, so. And it's not enough to revitalize my wet palette, so never mind.
Do you want to look at some Golden Demon winners?
Let's look at the Golden Demon winners. Wow.
So, it starts with Warhammer 40,000 single miniature.
Where is the... there we go.
Right at the top. There we go. And there is a Chaos Corrupted Nurgle Orc. It's the winner for single miniature.
Okay.
It's by Maxime Penal. It looks gross and disgusting.
Cookie. Maxime Penal. Oh, fucking yeah, this guy is French.
Yes.
With a name like that. Oh, I knew a Penal, but not Maxime, so... Okay. So...
What do we think?
Well, very well painted, of course, because it fucking won.
Yes.
So I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna criticize the paint, but again, I like the base. It's nice, watery kind of thing, but yeah, okay. It's alright.
Single miniature silver was Albert Moretto Font, and bronze was Thibaut Rahm. So they're slightly smaller pictures. Slightly smaller pictures that you have to click on to enlarge, but the
Thibaut, that's kind of like also a French name, but I don't know. Thibaut? Is that how you would say in English?
Probably.
Thibaut? But yeah, okay.
Some non-metallic metal on the Eldar Autarch looks pretty red. And there's a slightly more cartoony style to the Grot conversion. Just got a slightly more... Well, the caption says it's a slightly more saturated Grot conversion with an exaggerated desert base. And I think that looks great. It's definitely an aesthetic that I would like to see across the whole army. Slightly more cartoony.
Which one?
The grot on the rocks with the smoking pistol.
How did that?
It's under the orc. It's literally the second
Oh, okay. I thought you went further down. I was looking at squad and okay. It's a grot by himself. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the squad pictures are a bit strange because for some of them they've had to zoom out a lot to photograph the whole unit on the plinth, so you can't really see. So the squad was Alfonso Garcia Tovar, some Catachans that honestly you've got to really enlarge to be able to see properly.
That looks pretty good.
It's a orc kill team in silver from Alessandro Marioni. And
that one is nice, I like that one.
Some Nurgle Galapox, I think, from John Keyes in bronze.
Cool.
Which look disgusting and horrible.
Vehicle.
The gold for vehicle is a very converted thing.
Yeah.
It's a demon engine of some kind. It's like a great unclean one. I had horrible times with a Vindicator or some siege tank of some kind. It's disgusting and horrible, and I love it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Silver was Stephen Smith from a Cerastus Knight, so it's one of the big Forge World Knights. It's huge, and there's a lot of pearlescent effect and OSL and weathering.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty nice. And Gregor Pilaski in bronze with an Orc War Boss on trike, which is nice and beaten up. Moving on to large model, got Alfonso Garcia Tovar back again in gold with a it's a Discordant, Lord Discordant, I think. What's the name of that model? Which looks pretty nice. It's nice and weathered.
Yep, I like it.
There is a Ruinstorm Demon Brute in silver from John Keyes. It's one of the Forge World demons for the Horus Heresy.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
And there's another random demon thingy in bronze from Johan Leddock, which looks absolutely gnarly. I think is the correct term for that.
Cool.
It's a weird sort of scorpion type spider thing with smokestacks and yeah. Which looks nuts. Warhammer Sigmar single miniature. Gold was Albert Moretto font with a Grot Shaman. So it's like my horrid little goblin guy, but an older model with a big nose and a big hat.
I'm surprised you. It's nicely painted.
The moon on a stick.
It's nicely painted, but it's not. I don't see it as anything super special. Okay.
Silver was a Dark Oath chieftain from Sten Froden.
Which
has some nice OSL, not OSL, non-metallic. And yeah, the skin is. It's a lot of skin on that. It's done it well.
Yeah.
And bronze was Luciano Rossetto with a mounted Vampire Lord who is flying down on his regular steed without wings. So there's some weird vampire bullshit going on there. But again, there's some beautiful red NMM on the vampire's armor there.
Cool.
AOS unit got some converted up demonettes. So one of those is a Lumineth Calathar.
Okay.
But they're dancing through the cacti, and
she cannot see shit because she has a veil in, like, the thing in front of her face.
Yeah. I have absolutely no idea how to paint that model, and it blows me away that people get it looking like there's a thin, gauzy veil over the model's face.
Yeah.
Getting that looking really good is beyond me.
Well, you paint the model as if there was no veil, and then you paint a veil on top.
Yeah.
Super transparent.
Yeah.
And you spend about 10 hours on her face.
Yeah, I would fuck up the glazing for that, I think.
Yeah, because that must be... well, I don't know if that's how they do it. That's how I would do it, but again, I'm not a competition painter, so...
Yeah.
As people can see.
Eric Gowing. Silver was Zhaozhou Guan with some iron jaws, which, again, lots of NMM and some beautiful green skin.
Nice, yeah. I've seen the bronze one in the in the nomination.
Lucas Wiggering.
Yeah.
That's. I like how they've displayed.
One,
I like how they've displayed the unit going down the wall.
Yeah.
That's.
Yeah, I've seen that one. I've seen that one before.
Chris Clayton won gold for AOS large model with a kit bash from the Lord Croak with a regular slant on the top, which is just a nice kit to look at anyway. So the nice plinth there with all the waterfall and jungle effects on really just make it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Together.
My
large model silver.
My son, when he saw those lizard people, he wanted to get the starter box with some of the ginormous
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, yeah.
Yeah. Large model silver was some Mangler Squigs painted by Dave Perryman. They're just really well done blends on the red, I think, is what's done that. And bronze was David Aroba's Kraganos, which again is just blends. It's just blends for days. Beautifully done blends.
Yeah. It's like, people. Well, so, and that's the thing. So people, I don't know. If some of you are new to the hobby, just don't. This is 100, at least 100 hours on one model. I mean, like, easily.
Yeah.
Some will spend just doing the tail for that, for example, probably like
a lot of these
10
people,
hours just doing the freaking tail of the thing, and that's not what you want to do. And this is
the first in-person Golden Demon for 4 years.
And that's not what you want to aspire
pre-pandemic,
to, unless really, yeah. I mean. All right.
So these people have spent the entire pandemic painting this one model for this competition.
Yeah, probably, yeah. They've been spending freaking years just painting those. Now, a lot of us, most of us, won't get to that level ever. I mean, well, and again, if you want to, you can. It just you need practice. You need to spend hours and hours and hours painting something else. and then you need to spend hours and hours painting this. That's what I want to do for this guy. My little...
Your little dragon?
My little dragon. I'm still filling the gaps and cleaning it up and all this, but I will probably spend 60 hours on this, I would think. I wouldn't be surprised. And that's okay. And it's still not gonna be that level because I'm not that talented. Some people do have talent and tend to aspire to this, like Ashlyn.
Yep.
She just started and she's already to a level.
Ashlyn is pushing for Golden Demon quality.
Yeah. And she will, and I wouldn't be surprised.
She'll get there, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if within the next couple of years, if the pandemic and all that crap notwithstanding, I'm pretty sure she will. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. It's definitely up to her level and to what she can achieve. So yeah, you have that, and then that's it. Like, now you don't want, and you see people like Ash, like we were talking, and he will paint tabletop quality and freaking batch paint 20 million. I mean, he paints about 1,000 figures a year.
Yeah.
And then you have people like, what's Angel, whatever. Like, there's a few, like...
Angel Geraldas.
Yeah, Geraldas, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know how many models he paints per year.
Probably about 4.
But yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if he paints like 10, I would be surprised. And so, one side
that man has got a collection of Slayer swords, so...
Yeah, exactly. But one side you have a guy that paints 1,000... Like, he's gonna spend an hour... Like, he's gonna spend 100 hours painting 100 minis, if not more. And then you got this guy who spends, like, 100 hours just painting half a mini.
Yep.
And that's
quality or quantity.
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, like, freaking Ash has some technique that makes them look freaking fantastic on the tabletop. And then again, like, this is what you need to understand, and you need to know what you want to do. And like I said, like, where the fuck is it? Like, this guy was one of the first one that I did try to do some blending and things, and I think I did pretty well. I tried non-metallic metal on this guy, didn't work. I stripped and I actually did real metal. And I'm not, but that guy is probably one of the ones that I spend the most time painting. And it was I would say about 40 hours, probably, roughly around that. Same thing for, like, there's a few models, like this guy also. This guy I probably spend a good amount of time painting this guy. But again, like, yeah, it's depends on what you want to do. And you know, when you see, like, those guys... I usually painted them while we're recording this podcast, so it's like, so that's an hour or two for one model, and it's still a lot. Like, if you batch paint, you can do more than that in just so don't get frustrated and be like, no. I'll never get to that level.
No, but
don't.
Showed this to all this stuff to some of the Discord for my wargaming club. It's like, hey, if you wanna. Something to aim for. Yeah. And some of the kids were like, wow.
Yeah. But you're like, yeah, no.
So we're onto the Middle-earth strategy battle game category now.
Yep.
So there's a really nice Elrond. 1 gold from Sten Froden. So,
again?
Again. Some of these people have painted 2 or 3 models.
The past 2 years.
To Golden Demon standard and medalled. So
yeah, again, like, yeah, I know that. Yeah, not everybody aspires for this and all this.
There's some beautiful blending on the cloak, and I know he's an elf, and elves don't get dirty, but there's a little bit of mud around the bottom of his cloak where he's been fighting in the mud outside Mordor, taking on all them orcs.
Those dirty, nasty orcs.
There's a beautiful Aragorn 1 silver by Adrian Bay. And there's a diorama of Smeagol eating a fish with lots of resin effect water. 1 bronze from Adam Skinner.
Oof, yeah. Man,
it's got the blood just base, seeping into the water as well.
Just that base probably took a long freaking time.
Yeah.
Because that water effect is gonna take a while to freaking dry. So yeah, cool.
Into the other categories, we've got the diorama. The gold was Johan Ledek again, with a converted. What is that? That's Orion, Master of the Wild Hunt.
Is that the Sylvaneth?
That is what would be a Sylvaneth model from old Warhammer Fantasy, but that character died in the end times.
It's pretty
so
cool
this
model.
Is a conversion from the Demon Primarch Magnus the Red. I no idea where the beasts come from, but I think they might be Dracolines from the Stormcast range, underneath all the extra Sylvaneth-y stuff.
Cool.
I think part of the fun of some of these conversions is working out where all the different bits came from.
Yeah.
Silver in the diorama, Angelo DiCello,
again,
man who has won multiple Slayer swords. He's got a diorama of Warhammer Legends, Gotrek and Felix fighting some Skaven, and it is pretty nice. There's shards of glass everywhere. There's Skaven being thrown out of windows, jumping off of rooftops, and all sorts. But I really like the bronze diorama, which was by Pablo Lopez Jimeno, which is a Spike magazine cover come to life.
Yeah,
with
that's a pretty.
that's
a
an
good
Athlon
idea.
Avengers team.
That's a good idea. Yeah, that's really cool.
It looks really cool.
Nice.
The gold jewel was won by Chris Clayton, and this entry won the Slayer sword, which is the best overall. So you win your category, and then all the gold winners get put into a final judging to see which is the best out of all of them, and that man walks away with a sword. You can see him in the top left corner of that, holding his big sword up with his mail glove that they hold him.
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah, this will have been doing the rounds like last week.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I mean,
like the water
beautiful.
effect is really awesome.
Yeah,
like you see the waves peeking up, like that
must have taken
fucking
hours
to make. Oh god. Unless he made a mold, like a reverse mold of the waves, and then chopped the thing on top. But like, it's
the last week's Warhammer Weekly. Vince Venturella was talking about the Golden Demon stuff, because Vince is again a competition standard painter.
Yeah,
and they were saying that what he did was he painted the feet up to a point.
Mm-hmm.
Then cast the base, then painted the rest of the gargant, and then glued the gargant onto the feet and did some blends to match it up.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is like the waves sticking out. I don't know how you would like that. That must have been a pain to do.
Yeah.
Because I mean, unless you have a resin that's thick as F, like. Really, like you just to make those spikes. I don't know. Yeah, it really cool.
No, Vince's co-host Tom was saying, imagine painting that gargant up and then fucking up the resin pour and having to start again.
Oh, that's why he didn't. That's why the guy
he did the feet separate.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Next in duel was a Space Hawk. duel. So they've taken one of the Imperial cargo containers and done a Deathwing Terminator, fighting a Gene Stealer.
Cool.
In a corridor, and there's some sick highlights on that. The bronze duel, I think, looks really cool. It's, a Space Marine jumping out of a tower block window to fight Eldar Farseer on jet bike. Just all the broken glass, just like bullet timing out. Again, that bit alone must have taken an age.
Oh yeah.
Small scale. So this is Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis stuff. Gold was won by Dave Perryman. So that model is about that big.
Holy shit, yeah.
And that's got some, frankly, insane highlighting for that scale. Basically, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The silver was Alex Lahoulier, and small scale bronze was James Davis. And these are some, quite frankly, fantastic looking, really tiny planes.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Excuse me. After that, we've got Youngbloods, which is the under 14s event.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that, yeah.
There's some Haradrim for gold from Frankie Clark, which, quite frankly, is pun.
Yeah.
They can do that at 14. Imagine what they're like when they've actually had time.
Shit. Yeah.
Or under 14. Imagine what that's like when they've had time to practice and get
good,
old and get practicing.
Yeah.
Emilio McFarlane Green won silver with a that's that.
Yeah.
Merc Knob with Belcher banner.
If they don't get into college and university, whatever, and start.
If they don't get distracted by
wanting to date girls
sex.
And exactly, then you will see those names again and again and again in the next few years, winning freaking titles for sure.
Yeah, winning the adult categories.
Yeah.
And Daniel Swart won bronze for Jane Czar, which again, some fantastic highlighting. The Opens is the competition that Games Workshop employees are allowed to enter, which involves the Heavy Metal team. So the Heavy Metal team can enter this. The gold was won by Tom Hughes.
So they have fun.
Who has sculpted and painted.
Is Louise doing this?
Louise got a finalist medal.
I know.
She didn't get a medal, but she got like a commendation pin or something. But she entered.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
that's nice.
That is not a model that Games Workshop produce. So that was sculpted and then painted.
Yeah, fuck me sideways. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not something mere mortals can do. So yeah.
No.
It's kind of their jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
The silver medal was likewise a bust of a Stormcast Eternals Sequitur, which is I don't have words for how awesome this looks.
Yeah.
Just the beaten
metal. I like
metal.
that the bust is cut at an angle.
Yeah.
That's not usual. That's
all the second edition Age of Sigmar core books had lots of diamonds on all the chapters and the covers and stuff with artwork in, and the subject of the artwork was coming out from that corner.
Yeah. So that's what he did with the.
It's evoking a particular style of artwork from the book.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's really nice.
I would just like it to take a moment and get you to have a look in at the tabard that the Sequitur is wearing and see how he's painted in all the cross-stitching and the beating up of the leather.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And the dings on all the armour.
Yeah, he gave texture to something that's flat. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
and
cool.
Bronze was Darren Latham, who... ex-heavy metal, maybe current heavy metal again. I can't remember what his job is at the moment, but he's an exceptionally good painter at Games Workshop. Got bronze for his Leagues of Votan Carl, which I'm guessing he might have had slightly early access to paint up that good.
How long have you been painting this? 3 years. What?
And yeah, if you scroll down a little bit more, there's a picture of an exquisitely moustached man holding a large sword.
Yeah. Cool.
And another picture of the Kraken Eater punching a Kraken in the face.
Nice.
And yeah, that's... They snuck in at the end that Warhammer Fest in person is returning to Coventry in 2023, so
nice.
That's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to going to that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You're going to go, yeah.
Spending all my money on toys.
Cool.
Right.
Well,
shout-outs out of the way.
That's half of the freaking podcast already.
At 40 minutes in.
So, well, speaking of painting, what are you painting today?
I'm going to be painting some Annihilators with ground hammers. I'm going to be touching up the silver and maybe doing the base rims and potentially trying to do some highlights.
Cool.
I think it's the short of that. You put no question mark, no clue. But you are clearly painting something.
Yeah.
So you figured it out.
Yeah, I got a modern military dude that was sitting, and I'm feeling inspired, and I've been doing a camo pattern, which so far is looking pretty good.
That's dark, I can't see it. I'll wait for the podcast. Or the picture. That's far away.
Well, anyway, camo pattern, and I'm almost done. That's how long you've been talking, dude.
I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Sometimes on this podcast, I get to say things.
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
I did well. I saw some of those.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them have been doing the rounds for the last couple of weeks.
Well, no, yeah, and I've seen them like as like this is gonna be coming soon, blah blah blah. But I didn't know it was already done. This is the So yeah, we're recording this after 3 weeks. Because my kiddos got sick and it was a fucking nightmare to get them to see a doctor. So yay. It's fucking ridiculous.
American healthcare, boys and girls.
No, because it like this was clearly fuck up from the lady at the that checked us in.
Okay.
Because I mean, so they're like, oh yeah. So we came in. There was one person in front of us. So they went in, and I was like, all right. And then someone else arrived, and they went in. And then someone else arrived, and they went in. And then someone else arrived, and they went in. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, what the hell is this? So I went to see the lady, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but that's 3 people now that have been in front of us while arriving after us. What's going on? And then she clicks on the computer, remained very stoic. It was another lady. It was not the same one that... Oh, she's like, well, you want to see the doctor, and those people just needed to see a nurse for some advice. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit. And then... 5 minutes later, the guys arrives and we got in. And I'm like, you've got to be shitting me. Like, that lady that was before, that checked us in, fucked up and didn't put us in the thing. That's what happened. So don't give me the... Anyways, so I was freaking pissed. And then they tested my son and my daughter for strep and influenza, and they got influenza A. So yay! So basically,
Hashtag not COVID.
hashtag not COVID, hashtag the flu. So basically, they got the flu. So they still stayed at home because we're nice and we don't want people to catch even the flu. So they stayed at home for 3 days, and so didn't get to do much for 3 days. Well, work, but yeah, after that, it was just a busy week because then you have to take care of the kids more. I mean, they're big enough now so that they can, manage with Nintendo and computers and be done and do their stuff, and so yeah. But yeah, I was pretty pissed off. So anyways, and so what have you done?
I'm going to get you to go first so I can do some painting.
So, well, yeah. So I finished my crew for Space Station Zero. Finally. So I painting. I think I was painting one guy when I was doing last time when we were doing the podcast last time. And so I finished Booster Badger. So I finished my crew. I've got Commander, and I don't know where they are. Probably somewhere down there. So I've got Commander Dirk, which is Captain Kirk. I've got Booster Badger, which is my ace pilot, and that's Rocket Raccoon. I've got Dr. Moisberg, which is Dr. Zoe Berg. He's my medical officer. I have Brutus, which is Caesar from Planet of the Apes, and he's my engineer. My scientist is Bjorn, because he's a Borg, and Bjorn Borg. Yeah, all of them are just cheesy, fantastic version of sci-fi characters. Then I have Baron Smokem, because he's Duke Nukem, so Baron Smokem. And who am I missing? I'm missing Deke, which is the bounty hunter in Star Wars, which is called Bush. So yeah, again, and that's it. That's my I think that's my team of intrepid explorers. We
up until they all die.
Huh?
Up until they all die.
Yeah. So far so good. They're doing pretty good. Well, this is the thing. So because they're an explorer team, you can take one of each members, and then plus whatever after that. I've taken not the maximum of characters that you can take. I've taken 6 plus the commander, and they're basically all different types, so they complement each other pretty well. And then I put an extra soldier just to have a little bit more firepower, because you can take an extra one once you've gone through all the different things. So yeah, pretty cool. We did 3 challenge with my son. We had fun, and yeah, it's going well so far. We're going back because the ones that's coming, we saw that there is a no coming back after, and so you can go back until you hit a point where it says no going back after this point. So we're going back to one of the first challenges just to get more XP and everything on the crew. So that's pretty much where we're at. Didn't do anything this weekend. Was a busy weekend with recital and shit and crap that we had to do. So yeah, don't know if I'm gonna do any this weekend because we have to go to some friends and help them out with moving some wood, and it's been a while since we've seen them, so we're just gonna spend probably go there in the morning, have lunch. Kids are gonna just play the whole day and the whole afternoon, and we might. Last time we did this at our place, they left. They left. Their kids stayed, play with our kids. They came back, grabbed their kids. So we might do the same with our kids and be like, "All right, we're going. We can pick you up in like 3 hours," and just leave the kids for.
Have fun, guys. Bye.
Yeah, just leave the kids to have a play date, and yeah. So yeah. What else? So, been making a board for Space Station Zero. Right now, my board is 18 by 30 because the tiles are 6. So I've got 3 wide and 5 high. The board that you need for Space Station Zero is technically so 22 by 30, which is like Kill Team and Warcrow size.
Yep.
So Corvus Game Terrain, he's doing an extra. So he's working on some tiles. It looked like from what he was doing today that is getting close to being done. And those are like they're gonna be 6 by 6 by 2, so I can put one on each side and complete my my board. So I'm waiting on those to be available to start printing.
Nice.
I'm running out of filament yet again. So that's gonna have to so that's gonna have to wait. Well, right now I'm painting. I don't know if you've seen those little ghost where you pop the ghost and the feet fall off. It's like a little 3D printed ghost, and it's got like hollow eyes and everything. And then you leave it on the, if you leave it on the floor, well, on the table, it just has the bed sheet basically. It's like a bed sheet on top. And then when you pull it out, there's 2 feet that drops.
Okay.
And it's really funny. And it's Uncle Jesse like printed one in I think 400% or something like that.
Right.
Or more. And the guy that last time you said looked like me, or I look like him.
Yeah.
That 3D prints. He just did one in 1000%, which is freaking massive. So yeah. So yeah, we'll see how it turns out. But I printed one this morning, which is a keychain for the kids, and it did not come out really well. And I think that's my printer, not the model. So because you can see the layers and everything, and some of them are skipped and all this. So I ended up cleaning my printer's head today as well. Like before this podcast, I cleaned it really quickly, and then I just didn't want to try to unclog the heads and everything, so I just changed it completely. Like I just removed the previous one, changed it, and just put a new print nozzle, I should say, because it's a nozzle. And so yeah, while we were doing Space Station Zeros, we had some. We did challenge 5, which is a medbay. So I ended up printing some medbay stuff and painting them like super quickly and nasty and dirty, because they're supposed to be like old, bitten down pieces of equipment. And the droids, I used some old school droids, medical droids from Star Wars, which I found some free models which were awesome. So I printed those as well. Had fun doing that, and painting them also like pretty quickly, just to have something. We did that challenge, and yeah. So Now it's getting close. Well, and I've got some mutant, which are, they were somewhere in there. They were close by. Yes. So I have some mutant from Anvil Industry, but so they come in parts. You have the legs, the torso, the heads, and the arms, and I printed them. And then I assemble them, and I don't like it because there's a little bit of gaps and it blah blah blah, and it doesn't fit right and all this. So I decided to take mesh mixer and just assemble them in mesh mixer, so that now they are one part. And I will print those when I decide to go ahead and print more. Now, when I printed the dragon, I ended up making a hole in my FEP film. So, for those who don't know, you have a little vat, which is a container full of resin that's sitting on your printer. And there is a film at the bottom of that vat that is called an FEP film. And that's basically transparent film, so that when the printer shines the light, it cures the resin. Now that sometimes after you print a few times, well, quite a few times, you can get some damage on it, and usually you're smart enough to change it before you get a hole. I wasn't expecting it. That hole was there for quite a while, and I kind of forgot about it. And then, well, that hole, the beginning of a hole was there for quite a while, and then I just, like I said, I forgot about it, and I was like, yeah, it's gonna be fine. And I guess the dragon just was the last drop.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was not fine.
No. And so I printed the dragon, and I removed the freaking thing, and there was some resin stuck on the plates, on the screen. Luckily, I have a screen protector. I tried to remove the resin from the screen protector so that I wouldn't have to change the whole screen protector and everything. That did not work. I actually ended up with a hole also in this, well, not a hole, but like a pretty bad bump and on the screen protector. So I changed the screen protector. I changed the FEP, which, if you have not changed ever an FEP, I can tell you it's a pain. There's about 3 million screws to undo because you have a bunch of screws. I think it's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 on that first plate, and then when you flip it over, there's probably 30 on the other one. And
yeah,
they're
3D printing will kill Games Workshop, though, yeah?
No. Well, it honestly, like, resin 3D printing, it's fine. It's a lot easier than the filament. And honestly, like, yeah, if you take care of it, I mean, I don't know, I don't remember the last time I changed my FEP film, so it has to be quite a while. So I would say that, yeah, no, it's, if you have a big printer and if you want to print 100 minis, and you can 3D print an army for Warhammer for way less than you can buy.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But yes, it takes time. And
no, that's Uncle Adam's video on Friday, wasn't it? Basically.
Yeah, the way it was. Yeah, I don't agree with him completely on some of the stuff, because he was saying, you know, like, yeah, skirmish, not so much. Well, yes, what he didn't talk about in his videos was, you do a skirmish game you have your team of 5 guys, and that's fine. How many enemies do you have? Like, take a game. Fucking, I don't even know if I have a book. Yeah, well, yeah. Let me grab it. Like, if you take a game like Frostgrave, and I'm probably sounding super far away. Ow. So, you take a game like Frostgrave. You do your team. You do your party for Frostgrave, and you start going out, and you start doing, you know, the first. Here we go. Like, miscellaneous creature, demon, construct, blah blah blah. So bestiary. You can roll a d20 and you're gonna get some combination. Like animals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 different creatures. It's rare when one of those creatures is by itself. So you're gonna have to print, if you want the whole bestiary printed, like you could print probably 50 plus minis. Plus your party of like 15 for a game like Frostgrave. You might want to have like 15 dudes because some of them are gonna die quickly. So you're looking already at 65. Yeah. So again, yes, you want to, if you want to print an army, then yes, it's worth it, blah blah blah. But even if you play a skirmish game, you need the, like, if you want to print the enemies, because some of those things are just weird and you might not have them.
No, so, I think he was coming at that as more like a skirmish versus game rather than like against like a DM controlled stuff, which, you know,
yeah,
has a point for that, but that there are other games out there that he plays like that. So.
Yeah, no, but and this is the thing, like even his games, like if you take Rain in Hell, you just need to print the demons and you're fine because it's demons against demons. There is no other creature coming in. If you want to play a game like, no, what he's got already printed 3 droids, and I had some drones that are already printed before, and then we used those. But again, like those were, if I didn't have them, then I would have been another like 6 to print. Now I've got mutants to print. I need to print another 6 mutants. And his game is light on enemy types. Because there's deranged, like there's starving mutants and deranged mutants or something like that. You use mutants, you don't give a shit, you know, it's whatever. They have different stats, but you can use the same minis. His game is pretty low in different types and enemy count. Now, you, like I said, you take a game like Frostgrave or the Silver Bayonet. Dude, Silver Bayonet, I have a drawer full just for the enemies, and then I have another. Like, I don't have that many minis for the thing. Yes, you have different clan and everything, and those are, I bought them. But if I had wanted to print them, that's the same thing. Like, it would have been quite a lot of minis. So, yeah. And so this is why I think that it depends what you want to do, but you can, and again, like, yeah, when we were doing the medical bay thing, oh hey, I backed a Kickstarter way back in the days that had some sci-fi stuff that I printed pretty big for using them in Marvel Crisis Protocol. So I knew I had those files. I found the files. I printed 3 things really quickly. I had them and on the table like the next day. And so that's something also that you cannot. It's. I think that's the thing that really makes it really good for printing minis. Now, the printer, my FDM printer, on the other hand, that one is my workhorse. And it's because I needed to make actual functioning parts for the house. My son broke the thing that I've done for the cats and dogs for where the cats go to eat. It's not the same as the one they have for their doors. It's a bigger one and like beefier one that I've put in there. And he broke it. Fine. I just went back, got the file, printed a new one. My daughter needed a mask for, which by the way is something else I did. She needed a mask for Halloween. Here we go. Now, I printed that. I painted it, primed it, painted. Used matte varnish everywhere except for the teeth and the nose, where I used gloss varnish, and it looks pretty cool. So that was something else. And that's my filament printer is what I use it for. Is mostly, well, terrain for, of course, and I'm doing the thing here, but also for functioning parts in the house. So yeah. And so that's pretty much all I made. Oh, and because it's Halloween, I started making some tombstone with the kids.
Yeah.
So
right.
Foam tombstone. Use the iron, soldering iron to carve in it, and started putting Mod Podge and stuff on it. So that excuse me. But yeah. So that's what I've done. What did you do? Shit.
It's going to be a long one, folks.
Well, I'm going to have to go at one point, which is going to be in 40 minutes.
Sweet. I think this is going to be all the stuff that we've got on the news is going to be very fucking quick. So I finished all the apothecaries that I was painting up last time, I believe. I finished scraping stuff off and painting the Smash Praetor conversion that I was doing. So, yeah, that was the... this is what the kit looks like. And then, yeah, scraped all the 40k off. After that, I had a bit of a bad brain day and couldn't be asked doing anything that was on my desk. So I pulled a kit out from the pile, and I built one of the track sections for the Kratos tank that came out with the new Horus Heresy edition.
Okay.
I then built a new plastic contemptor and all the weapon options for that. So I need to go in and stick magnets on that so I can swap them out.
Cool.
They're a weird size, those magnets. So I'm going to have to buy some additional magnets. I finished a Dreadnought drop pod. I was like, sweet, let's just bash one of these out. Bam, bam, bam.
So the question is, did you put magnets on Magnus?
Magnus does not have magnets.
You see, that's a missed opportunity, dude. All right,
doesn't need them. Doesn't have options. A month later, I got the replacement parts.
Oh, for
my assault
pod?
claw. Yeah.
Cool.
So these are the two parts that needed replacing.
All right, cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're pretty cool. They go together like so, without the gates on.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
But as you may be able to see on there, there's a little slidey bit down here.
Okay.
So the kit, when you build it, has some claws that go in those gaps that you can slide up and down.
Okay.
And from this little bit here, they slide down and then they tilt in and then they lock in.
Okay.
So there are, if you can see on here, some very tiny little circles that are detailed on. And what you do is you go in the garage and you get a big old hand crank drill out.
Oh, and you drill through the little hole?
Because your tiny little hobby vise that you've got on your desk...
It's not going to cut it.
Doesn't go up to 6 mil.
No. Pretty sure not.
You need big boy drills for that. So I got a big boy drill out. And I drilled some holes.
Cool.
And I bought some magnets. And now I have a fully articulating Charybdis assault claw. Which is awesome and amazing. And I spent a lot of time gap filling that model. Which is especially interesting when I was doing like the bits around the base. Because I had to hold it in my hand. Brace my hand against the desk. And then get my sculpting tool to like get all the green stuff in all the gaps. And my hand was shaking by the end of it because it's heavy. It's not heavy. Yeah. It's not like... Excuse me. Oh, got the burps today. Do apologise. I did a bit more work on my horrid little goblin dude.
Cool.
He's very nearly done now.
Nice.
Yeah, because after I did that, I grimed up the last Storm Eagle that I've been putting off doing for about a year. That was for the event that was at the time of recording yesterday, which I'll get to. I did the last resin Volkite dual covering for my resin dreadnought. A bit more work on the cave shaman. Apparently. I built up this guy. Ta-da! It's a wizard. It's a Lord Arcanum on Toralon.
Okay.
Or Aventus Firestrike, if you want to use the named version. And now I am back on the Stormcast with these Annihilators of Grandhammers.
Holy shit, it's been a while since you've done any Stormcast, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've been painting stuff up for this Heresy event I went to yesterday. So I'm now that I don't have an event immediately coming up, I'm in the sort of lull where I don't have to paint anything specific. So a lot of those things that I just said where I was sort of like bouncing around was just me just sort of trying to get my head in a particular mode to start doing stuff. Because I don't have anything to paint for anything. So I'm just in clear all the detritus that's built up in my desk mode.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I went to a Horus Heresy event down in Eastleigh.
All your troubles seem so far away?
With my brother, who is apparently a curse upon this podcast, and is why we must never speak of episode 3.
Doesn't exist. It's a myth. It never happened. It will come out. Maybe. One day.
Maybe. Possibly. I mean, there's about 50 different files that need to be patched together to make that a coherent experience for everyone. And,
to make it remotely
watchable. And then you can't see JG for half of it because all the power in his house went out. So.
Oh my god, that was probably it was the worst podcast we've ever did.
But I mean, we've done some stinkers. We've done some stinkers.
No, but probably one of the funniest one though. That was funny. Yeah. Like it was just one crap after another. It was just so outrageous. Like the amount of just going wrong. Because we had some forgot to put recording on this. Oh man, I forgot to do this. But
oh no, Skype crashed every 20 minutes. Yeah.
But this one was just like, oh, this is crashing. This is crashing.
That?
This is
all
going,
the problems.
It's like
all at once.
All at once. Yeah. It's like the file is not working. Oh, the thing is not recording. Oh, the thing, hey, Gigi's power is completely freaking out. It's like, yeah, it was funny.
Yeah, so, yeah, this event was great fun. I played 3 frankly hilarious games against 3 great guys. I've got a little... Did
you win?
I got my shit kicked in.
Come on, dude.
3 games on the trot.
You need to represent the podcast a little bit, man. Fucking.
I mean, I was representing the podcast, but
not. Yeah, well, you need to represent better. Let me just say that.
We're in this for the hobby, not for the winning.
Yeah.
Boys and girls. Yeah, it's just. And well, I didn't take a picture of my army when I had it all laid out for the armies on parade because I'm an idiot and I wanted to go get lunch. And my army had, let's see, 75 soldiers and 6 planes in. So when I got back, my priority was put it all back in my case so I could get to the next game and not spend 20 minutes doing that while people were trying to use the table that I was vacating.
Okay.
So I've got an Instagram picture on there which has got a picture that somebody else took of my army and has put into a collage with 3 other pictures. So,
Did you ask them? You're like, hey, do you have the one picture? Can you send me that?
I will put feelers out to see if I can find a picture of my army that I can put in the file so that can go somewhere on the screen at some point, maybe, if people remember. But my first game was against a guy called Pete, who runs the 30k Forgotten Legion. So he does a load of event organising. So this is one of the few times a year he gets to play, is coming down to these events.
Okay.
Yeah. So my army works by having 2 planes come on the first turn. Nothing on the board to start with. 2 planes come on first turn, and then the other 4 planes and all my assault guys in jump packs will turn up on a dice roll from then on.
Okay, so if you don't do the dice roll, they don't come in?
It's a 3-up turn to a 2-up turn 4, and so on. But all the jump pack guys, when they come down, they scatter a little bit, and then you have to roll a dice to see whether it's an ordered landing or a disordered landing.
Basically, if they crash or if they...
No, it's whether they all land where they want to or whether they get more spread out.
Okay.
So if you roll a 2-up, you, the player, put the guys down within 18 of like the initial unit that scatters. If you roll a 1, your opponent puts them down anywhere within 24. So when I reminded my opponent, when I rolled a 1, that my leader was...
He's like, I'm gonna screw you so much.
No, because it's a friendly match. It's a friendly game. I was like, did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know?
Friends are the worst.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
When it comes to this, they're like, I'm gonna screw you so much.
Just to remind you, Pete, that my Praetor has a warlord trait that means he behaves like a robot and has to charge and shoot the nearest enemy unit. And he was like, I've got Vulcan, the Primarch of the Salamanders, in my unit, and he's in a unit with a guard with his personal bodyguard full of guys with heavy flamers attached to their wrists.
Let me put let me put you guys right.
So I'm going to put them right next to them, and he shot me with that unit 3 times in my turn.
Oh shit! Yeah, that sucks.
So because they came in from reserve, he got an interceptor shot against them, and because I had to shoot them with their pistols, he got to return fire against them. And then when you charge, you get to fire Overwatch against a charging unit.
Which he did, which then annihilated you, basically.
And then they died.
Yeah.
It was absolutely hilarious and illustrates why the way that they've implemented reactions in 30k might not be the best.
Alright, well. Cool.
But enough about that.
What else? That's it.
I flew the planes around a little bit, shot some of his guys, and I mean, he just had more stuff on the table than me at the end, so he won that. My second game was against a guy named Sam, who had a lovely painted Ultramarines army. So his guys have like interlocking fire discipline as one of their special rules.
Mm-hmm.
So if one unit shoots at something, then it gives a +1 to hit bonus to other units within a certain range of it.
Oof.
So you have to hit flyers on a 6, unless you've got an ability that says you can skyfire. So he just had some random dudes taking plink shots at my planes when they came on, hitting, not even caring if he hit. So then his guys with skyfire got +1 to hit, and he knocked my planes out of the sky turn 1, and they crashed. And
that was it.
Out of JG, out of the 40 guys that were in the plane, the 2 planes, 5 got out.
Oh, you're close. Shit. Oh,
and then those 5 guys got immediately murdered by the rest of his army.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
So, if you don't have any models on the board at the end of a game turn, you lose.
Yeah.
So I lost.
Well, yeah.
And at that point we went, well, there's 2 and a bit hours left in the round because we've been playing for 20 minutes.
So why don't you get
so
another 2 planes?
Let's just ignore the fact that you automatically lose and play another couple turns, because otherwise we both have nothing to do. So then that basically kept happening.
Oh my god.
With my planes. My dudes came down and managed to hit some things, so at that point I was like, I've automatically lost, so I'm ignoring the objective. I'm just going to murder things, because...
I'm just going to try to just save face.
Vengeance! So, yep, I auto lost that one. And then the third game, they changed the rules for this like 20 minutes before the round started, because a lot of the people who'd read the pack went to the event organizer and went, this is going to go really, really badly for the traitor team players. There's basically no way that they can win this. So originally there was 5 objectives. There was a roll-off. The winner gets to put the first objective down, and then you alternate. So the winner gets to put 3 down.
Okay.
The loyalist player has to destroy all the objectives. The traitor player has to hold all the objectives.
Okay.
So if the loyalist player won, they'd put all 3 on their side of the board. They'd shoot as many of them as they could in the first turn. They'd charge and kill the rest of them, do the rest of it. And then there'd be 2 on the traitor side that they'd have to hold against screaming hordes of guys for another 4 turns. It was basically impossible. And they changed it to be 4 in the traitor's deployment zone and 1 in the centre of the board.
Okay.
Which is a lot fairer. I ended up playing against a guy with a heavy shooting army. So he destroyed 3 of them in his first turn. Charged and killed the 4th one in his second turn. And in the 4th turn managed to get an angle on the last one that I'd hid in the corner out of line of sight of everything and kill that. But on the plus side, he didn't have a lot of stuff that could shoot planes down.
Oh.
So I got to put most of my models on the board for that game, pushed them around, killed quite a lot of his stuff, but didn't kill enough of his stuff to table him and automatically win. So, didn't automatically win that one, but it was a much closer game.
Cool.
So, that was big fun. And the motto of the day was, if you live by the plane, you die by the plane.
Yeah.
And if you take a stupid, dumb list,
you're gonna suffer.
F around and find out, I think, is the short version of that. So at one point, the event organizer called me over and went, can you just remind me of your score from your game 1? Which is 14-2. Because a lot of guys in my group chat are saying, oh, who's the idiot who's bringing all the stupid planes and making a really dumb list? Oh, planes are broken. and then I went ahead and proved them wrong by losing all of my games incredibly hard. So, and a guy called Tom Sargent, who's is a big guy in the heresy community, was like, who's the legend who's taking all those planes? So,
cool.
I managed to get him to follow me on Instagram, so job
nice.
done.
Nice.
That is the end of
what we did.
the second page of our show notes, and
we are go in 20 minutes.
An hour and 20 minutes into the recording,
and I have to go in 20 minutes. So, yeah.
So Corvus Belli are launching their Kickstarter this week.
Yep.
And that looks like some awesome stuff.
Yeah. So it is Warcrow, and from what I've talked about before, dungeon crawler first. Then they will do a proper game thingy. So, yay, cool. Now, paint 2 thin coats from Duncan
Rhodes Painting Academy.
Yep. From the last update that I received from Kickstarter, it is in a warehouse, currently being sorted, so that they can be sent. So I should get that hopefully anytime soon, within the next week or so, or a couple of weeks. And when I do, I will definitely make a video about it, of unboxing this. So cool. Yep, that's my news.
I need to do another solo video at some point. Yeah, so the first thing I've got was I think this was last week's Heresy Thursday. But a character model for the Dark Angels.
The guy with the sword and
long-awaited Corswain, cool. Paladin of the Ninth Order. He's the guy who ends up running the Dark Angels after the Horus Heresy finishes. Super classic knight pose for a guy who basically embodies the super classic knight aesthetic.
Cool.
Love it. Part of the... We're going to really quickly cover the...
Yeah, because you have about 3 minutes.
Yep.
Because I realized that I need to grab all the instruments for my kids. I need to pick up
Warhammer.
One of their friends.
Stop talking! Warhammer Community 40k birthday reveal stream. We're going to go through really quickly. There is a relaunch of the Imperial Guard miniature line coming soon.
I like the guy with the giant cigar in his mouth. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he is an existing model.
Cool.
So the guy in the front is the Cadian Castellan. There are lots of build and weapon options for him.
Cool.
Lots of different heads that you can paint up in different ways. Lots of different swords, different pointy arms.
With the
That's
SS
the
hat.
first and second models.
Yep.
They revealed some corn stuff. So this is a Lord Invocatus.
On a mechanical ball.
On a corn juggernaut.
Okay, that looks like a mechanical ball with a...
Which is basically a magic mechanical ball demon thing.
Okay.
I believe that there is a named version and a generic version in the kit.
Okay, cool.
I think.
Alright.
There's Kazakin versus Necrons
new kill team,
in a new kill team.
That looks really cool. I'm like...
They're selling all the
I don't play kill team, but that would be really tempting, but that one looks pretty cool. So yeah, keep it going.
They're selling all the terrain separately, which will be great for Horus Heresy, because it's very much Zone Mortalis stuff.
Cool.
And it will be a new mode of play for 40k, because they were like, we hear you, you don't want to be carrying 6 books around to be able to play your army.
Okay.
They're making new bases for the Gallo Dark as well, so if you want your guys to look like they're stood on a derelict spaceship, you can.
Oh, yeah, because of the... Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah. There is a new...
Army set.
So they appear to be doing this when they're launching new lines, is just putting all of the things
Are those
in
the
FOMO box.
Kardashian or whatever?
These are the Cadians, so they're... Yeah.
Oh
so
my god, we're
gonna
get cancelled so much by Warhammer people.
The command squad, the Sentinel in the front left has like a
They look...
scout version with less armor on.
Those are cool. Those I really like, and their vehicles and everything.
Yeah, the artillery things at the back have like 3 different weapon options.
Honestly, you take those, you do a game that is steampunk.
Yeah.
Maybe dieselpunk. Dieselpunk would really fit with those, like really, really well. Anyways, keep going.
There is 2 new skinks from the new Warcry.
They stole my bagpipe.
Warcry
You've seen that.
Team that is coming for that.
I've seen those. Very cool.
I'm going to skip the next one and come back to it in a minute. You have opinions
on the newbie tools.
I've got opinions.
All right.
There's some new hobby tools that Citadel are putting out that I have opinions on.
I've seen that Ninjon...
So I'm just going to open this link real quick so I can remember
Ninjon and
they are.
The other one. Dana made a review, and Ninjon made a spit on it. I think from the title of his video. I don't know. I haven't looked at his.
Let's just scroll down a whole bunch so I can remember what they are because right, super fine detail cutters approved.
Okay.
Because.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
Easy access to fine detail cutters is a thing. They might not be the right price or whatever, but whatever.
I like mine.
There's a new mold line remover.
I like those.
Mold line maneuvers are basically pointless. Use the backside of your hobby scalpel.
Use the Monuments hobby one, if I can find it, because I
use the backside of your scalpel.
Honestly, like the Monument hobby one is freaking amazing. I was using the back of the thing, but the Monument one is just super awesome. I don't have it. Move on, but I will.
They're putting a hobby knife out as well. Just buy this. Use the backside of that. It's fine.
Okay.
There's lots of different blades.
Drill.
Great. Fine.
Drill.
The drill.
Yeah.
I've got opinions about this drill because the version that they've sold previously that I currently have has an extra size of drill bit with it.
Is it one that you go meow meow meow, you pull the back, or is it the one that you twist with your hand?
It's a handy twisty thingy.
Yeah. So it's but it's not because I know there's some that you pull the back and you push it and you pull it and you push it and it turns
it's a holdy twisty.
It's the holdy twisty, which is the same one that I have, which I paid $10 on freaking Amazon with 300 bits.
That's got 2 1mm bits and 2 1.5mm drill bits.
That's it.
My one that I've got here has got what? 1.5 and 2.
Alright, well
that's it. Those are my opinions.
And then Attilan Rough Riders looked freaking awesome. I saw them.
They came out today.
Yeah, when you posted it today, I saw them and I was like, those looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. Means that there's going to be lots of other different Imperial Guard regiments in the new Imperial Guard release, which is big and fun. Thank you for watching, boys and girls.
How's your mini? My mini is awesome. I really like it. I did an awesome job
I'll take a picture.
On the camo. I'll take a picture.
Let me do the sign off.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Follow us on Twitter.
Sorry for the rushing
Liamdurr at JG Provenet at HobbyStreakers. Follow us on Discord. Follow me on Instagram. I need more Instagram followers.
Like, subscribe, and
comment.
we'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much. Bye.